Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Yes, I'm actually playing tanks, can you believe it? And today I'm aboard the T-80UM2, which was the Winter Quest Tank Reward 2022/23. And yeah, there are people that say it's just another T-80, but honestly, when you play this tank, when you just give it a chance, well, you see two things. First of all, you're gonna hate the vehicle if you are just used to thermals, because it doesn't have any, and that immediately raises the question, well, what's the purpose of this tank? Because you can get the T-80 UK at the same battle rating with thermals and a laser rangefinder, a laser warning receiver on top of this, the same ammunition, everything more or less the same 6.5 second from the autoloader, etc, etc, basically for free, without grinding 8, and if you want to sell it, 10 miserable tasks. And with tanks, with the score modifier, just not good, not nice. But you can have a second look at it. Maybe my predictions in the future will come true, and we will see rank 8. Then you actually can have the chance to get for free the T-80 UK, the T-80UM2 if you played for it, and maybe you also have the T-72M2 Moderna, and you also can obviously get the BMP-2M, getting the full Soviet experience without going through the grind. Maybe you're in punching distance of top tier through the grind, and then maybe the T-80UM2 might be a candidate for a talisman. And to be honest, it's not that bad. In my gaming sessions, I have not seen that many night battles, and this is where it really sucks to not have thermal imaging. Honestly, it just sucks. But other than this, I kind of enjoyed the game a bit more without thermals. It sounds weird because I'm really used to thermals, but that's just how it is. Anyway, so what's the tank about? Let's just go quickly into the basics. Well, it's a nicely mobile tank, 1250 horsepower, 47 tons, giving you a horsepower to ton ratio of 26.5. In reverse, it's 11. Forward, it's 70 kilometers per hour. That's really good. That's the T-80 mobility as we like it. No neutral steering, but pretty quick to turn anyways. Then we have the armor, which is a really funny thing, because the lower glacis is paper, the side is paper, although the three front tires, if you will, or front wheels, they actually have some extra Contact 5 integrated era that also can absorb some APFSDS, but please don't count on it, because if it doesn't absorb the APFSDS, a low pen APFSDS that is, it goes into the ammunition carousel and you'll blow up. There is the usual weaknesses like the turret ring, the driver's hatch, and the gun breech area, and that is really not so great. But the hull, and especially the sides of the turret, are tough as old boots. And you have 3 crew members, you can lose one and still have full reload capabilities. And on top of this, you not just have quite literally a heavy machine gun, which is always nice, but also the active protection system. It's quite limited. It works versus slow projectiles like ATGMs, and it does the job reasonably well, but you have to directly look at the enemy. Does this protect you from most stuff that gets thrown at you? To be honest, it hasn't helped me like once. I don't think it has helped me once, and that's a pretty shame. Yeah, it's basically your typical Soviet MBT. What about the ammunition? You have the standard heat, you have the standard meme HE, you have then also an ATGM. That is with 700 millimeters of penetration, not that bad. Beam riding, 400 meters per second, 5 kilometers range. And then the most used shell, or in this case, the exclusively used shell, the 3 BM46, 532 millimeters of penetration, 1700 meters per second velocity. You have also a good scope, a good magnification on the main gun. good laser rangefinder. It does the job. It does the basics, and that is what you have to expect from your Soviet MBT. And also the post-penetration damage effect is great. I like this tank, especially the difference to the T-72s, which have on their autoloader 7.1 seconds. Here you have 6.5, and that makes a difference. Now, look at this. I hate playing night battles. I just hate without thermals, and even with thermals, I despise it. So there you can see the armor kind of can hold up at times, and that in critical situations is good. That even if you extinguish the fire or if a crew member gets knocked out, it actually doesn't interrupt the reload. It's also a nice bonus feature, just adding to this being a tank more akin to the meta of top tier Call of Duty gameplay, but that's just my opinion. Overall, I liked this tank. I liked it more than some Western MBTs, which are arguably better here and there, better gun depression, a faster turret rotation speed, some of them faster reload. Yes. But I think that for me personally, this tank has style. But there is still the caveat that this tank doesn't have thermals, and that just then speaks against putting a talisman on it. What I would recommend, if you have this tank, that you hold on to it, and that if you want to give a tank a talisman, then give it to the T-80UK, which by the way is having the exact same repair costs fully upgraded. So there is that. I think that when you have this tank, you kind of get the first feeling of Soviet tank feeling. If you don't want to grind all through the 7 ranks now, I see that. And honestly, if you are a patient player, this tank does the job. It's overall really cool. Now, then again, this tank for, I don't know, this winter event which was just exhausting. I mean, it was like the one before with the score points, but it just emptied me. And this is where we get into the dark times, as I like to call it. This has been like this every year. We won't see another update for not just a couple of weeks, but maybe a couple of months. And in the meantime, we are due to enjoy what we currently have in the game. So this is it. Yes, that's good for progress, for grinding, but at the end of the day, this is where overall I always get this feeling of War Thunder letting me down more than usual, that is. And it's not just because of the lack of content, it's just that there is this really weird absence of anything to look forward to. At least this is how it feels for me. And having now this tank in the comparison to what we already have in the tech tree or other reward tanks, it feels a little bit weak. It feels a little bit not that great. It feels unrewarding, not worth it, basically. And again, it's not a bad tank. It's not a tank that I would say, oh my god, it's awful, I hate it. But it's just that I've played this so often before. I have done this so often before. I really would like to see something that would mix it up. Not necessarily something overpowered, because God knows we have seen much of this in War Thunder already. But just something different. I think there are like 50 variants of the T-72 and T-80, I don't know. But something different. Now, what I also felt is like that a lot of people are currently playing this tank, and they do not have anything at top tier. They do not have the T-80UK. Some of them are outright unexperienced. They don't know even how to turn on their thermals, etc., etc. and there are one death and then leave, and then even if you try your hardest, you just lose the game. And this is why I do not really bother so much, and that then further just drains the enjoyment. So I don't know, let me know if you feel the same, if you have a completely different opinion. And as usual, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see each other on the waves in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.